I want everybody to realize what you're witnessing. And that would be the most exciting team in the 21st century. They've won for the Brewers. The Brewers' most exciting team.
I was going to say, goodness.
Hey, you know what, Joshy? I'll go there. No. In terms of Brewers teams, this is the most exciting in the 21st century. 2018 was amazing, and obviously, 2008 was really fun. 2011 was really fun. There were some really fun teams. What we're witnessing in 2025, though, is the most exciting team of all of them. They've won more games at the All-Star break. Now, granted, the All-Star break does happen a little bit later than it used to. But 56-40, 16 games above 500. And I think what we've noticed the last 2 or 3 weeks since Brandon Woodruff returned, this rotation has what it takes to win a World Series. They're that good. When you have 2 All-Stars, effectively, and Jacob Mizorowski and Freddie Peralta, and then a third really good pitcher who's looked really good in his 2 starts since returning, in Brandon Woodruff. And when you look at some of your bullpen arms, and Abner Uribe, who very easily could have been an All-Star, Trevor McGill, your closer, who was an All-Star, you realize you have the arms if you stay healthy, and obviously this depends on them continuing to play the way they have played, but you have the arms that can win a World Series. It's just up to your bats to, like they have been doing the last 2 months, do enough to win ball games. Right? You don't necessarily need Christian Yelich to be a 320 hitter. He hasn't been, but he's been solid. Churrio's been solid. You need some of those guys who maybe you didn't expect to do a ton, do more than you've expected, right? And that's where the Isaac Collins and the Sal Freliks and the Andrew Vaughns come into play, who have been really good for this team down the stretch. I really believe this team has the makeup of a World Series team. And yes, does that lead me to say we are back to the point in the baseball season where my heart is open and I'm going to get heartbroken again? Probably. Only one team wins. But I don't remember ever being this excited for a Brewers team because I didn't really become a baseball fan until it was 2008, the CC Sabathia year. Keep in mind, I was young then, right? I would think I was, 11 years old or 10 years old. And that's when I bought into baseball. But since 2008, I don't remember another team that made me get this excited and put me in this headspace because I think we always knew there was big shortcomings. And sure, could you make the case? The Brewers are still a bat away. Yes, absolutely. You can make that case. You could always use more offense when you're competing in a league with the Los Angeles Dodgers. But from a defensive standpoint, I think you have the arms to win a World Series. And that's a little bit scary to say out loud. But the Brewers pitchers have been that good. And I just want to make sure we're all on the same page in what we're witnessing.
I want to say one thing right off the top. Stop being scared of having your feelings hurt. Because getting your feelings hurt is what makes us all sports fans.
Preach.
You got to ride the highs and you got to ride the lows.
It's true.
If you waste your time saying, I'm protecting myself from inevitably or potentially in the future getting my heart broken by this team, then you're doing sports wrong. You should be living and dying with all the games, with every pitch as they get into the playoffs. You should be heartbroken when your team drops, fails, does whatever that makes you fall short of your ultimate goal. I think the Brewers fans in Wisconsin have a very unique position where they blame every other factor as a way to soothe themselves about their disappointment. It's a great pacifier, a cough drop, if you will, of, well, the market, the game's not fair. We don't have the pieces. We can't compete with these guys. Who cares? It doesn't matter. There's going to be 9 guys that go out there and they try and win a baseball game. And sure, our payroll's not as high. Sure, we don't have all the assets some of these other teams and the exposure and the talk on national media. None of that matters.
Yeah.
If you win a 5 or 7 game series or wild card round, you go out there and what happens on the field is the result. And I think on top of that, I think it would be a disservice and a travesty, if this Milwaukee Brewers team, speaking from ownership and down, in terms of player acquisition, general manager, all that, if they don't go out and do their damnedest to get that remaining bat that is going to put them over the top and make them a truly scary team that teams are not going to want to face. I think those players, the fans, and everybody has committed so much to the Brewers for so long, and letting a golden opportunity like the one that is presented this season just slip away because, well, we're worried about what the team's going to look like in 2027 if we let one of these young prospects go for a rental. Don't care. Do it.
Well said.
I'll deal with the maybe not fully stocked system in 2028, but I want a World Series.
I do too. Yeah, I think that's really well said by you. Nuggeteers chimes in, preach to you, Joshy, because this is sports. Let's get excited because what we are witnessing, I don't know that we've ever seen as Brewers fans. I don't think you can have.
I think there's differing layers here. Obviously, the 82 Brewers, that was as exciting as it can come. I think the 08 CC Sabathia, for its own, there was a belief, like, I remember feeling like every time CC Sabathia pitched, he could throw a no-hitter.
A no-hitter, yeah. I mean,
and it felt like whatever's happening here in Milwaukee with CC is something special. One of those, like, sure, they're not the best, but there is something where everybody else's abilities and beliefs in their ability to win is raised because CC's there. But that wasn't this in terms of, no, these guys are just as good. You just swept the Dodgers. Sure, they have some guys on the IL. Who says they won't when the time comes around? You can't look at the big scary teams and go, well, we're not as quite as. Who cares? Go win.
Go win. And that goes back to the undaunted phrase that Pat Murphy has subscribed to since taking over as the manager of this team last year. Winning manager of the year, having a really great debut season for him as the manager, but this is just different. The arms that you have in this rotation are World Series good. And what some of these bats have been able to do and offensively, what they've been able to turn around, really since middle May, but the month of June specifically, has been so impressive. The run they're on here as they entered the All-Star break or in the All-Star break here on the night of the ESPYs, 7 in a row, including a sweep over the Dodgers. They have an opportunity to prove that was no fluke beginning on Friday when they come out of the All-Star break and head to Los Angeles for a 3-game weekend set with the Dodgers. And then to wrap up the month of July 28th, July 29th, and July 30th, you host the Chicago Cubs. And does anybody happen to know what July 31st brings? Both an off day and the trade deadline.
Yeah.
So it's 2 weeks from tomorrow, the trade deadline. 2 weeks from today, you'll be playing your third game against the Chicago Cubs. That's 3, and then you have a 5-game set with them later in August, and that's all you have left against the Cubs. But 66 games left. You're a game back. You're well in the wild card. You've got the third best record in the National League. This team is that good. And it's to your point, Josh, it's time to act like this team is that good. And, and they are that close to being a world-class contender, which I think they will be. I truly do. I think this team can compete with anybody. I think they proved that last week when they swept the Dodgers. I think they'll prove it again when we come out of the All-Star break this week. And even if it's not a sweep, I think they'll go win that series in Los Angeles and say, hey, by the way, we're here. We have arrived. So I just want Brewers fans alike to witness or understand what we are witnessing. Understand what we are watching. We are watching a team that is that good, that is that dangerous, that is that competitive, can compete with anybody, and can sweep the freaking Dodgers. If you can sweep the Dodgers, baby, you're proving you can play with anybody. Hunter, go ahead.
I think it's also really important here with this is like Jeff Passan was on Wilde and Tausch, and he talked about, they need a bigger bat in the lineup. They've been hitting home runs now since Jeff Passan said that. Like, I'm at the point with this team where my complaints are the Miz going, he can give up some hits if he goes like change up. That second change up, guys usually tee it up. Like, that's my issue with this team now, is pitch sequences, because they're doing everything else so well. Like, this team is a complete team.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. And look, do I expect Andrew Vaughn to be as good as he has been through his first, whatever it is, 5 games? No, I don't.
He better be. I bought his jersey, and I'm waiting for it to get here from China.
Now.
Yeah.
Well, I asked you when he was traded if you were going to buy a Vaughn jersey. Hunter Vaughn, Andrew Vaughn, obviously. And you said you think so. You needed to wait to see a few things before you pull the trigger?
He needed to at least have like a couple of good games for me to drop the $30 and get it shipped from China. Because worst case scenario is that like it's just a funny joke and I wear that jersey to games and people are like, oh, that's good, an Andrew Vaughn jersey.
There is a bit of, there was a chance that Vaughn got brought up because of the Hoskins injury and had like 10 strikeouts in 2 games and then got DFA'd.
Yep.
Like once you cleared and he was impressive. I don't think he's going to be as good as he was heading into the All-Star break, but he's clearly better than he was playing in Chicago. And I think it's probably really hard to play with that team and for that franchise. And not that it's an excuse, but you can understand how somebody would maybe get out of their good habits or would go up to bat and not have the same energy they should when your team is fighting for worst record in
and
the league.
I think there's a real baseball
500
spot.
on base percentage, 429 average in 5 games with the Brewers, 2 home runs, 6 of 14 at the plate only because he only played 5 games. But yeah, he's been unbelievable. And it's truly an unremarkable, or it's a super remarkable, like, comeback story for a guy that was the number 3 overall pick in the MLB draft several years ago. He has turned it around from, and I wish Will was here today, being our resident White Sox fan, but you realize just how, sometimes a change of scenery can be really good for you. And seemingly, at least thus far, it's been that for Andrew Vaughn.
And I haven't seen the numbers, but I have to imagine Andrew Vaughn, when he was with the White Sox, was probably going up to bat with a lot of 2-out situations. Where now he's coming up to bat with runners on or runners in scoring position, and he can actually do something. Like, if you're going up every time, you're like, okay, it's 2 outs. Like, basically, I'm going to try and hit a home run here and do something for the team. Now it's I just need to get the ball in play, get the guys moving, and we're fine. Like, it's a very different mindset going up to the plate for him now.
Well, but the turnaround is still remarkable because by far the lowest average of his career in his 48 games in Chicago this year. He's a 189. By far his lowest on base percentage, 218, when he was with Chicago. I mean, every one of his numbers is the lowest of his career. And then he gets traded to Milwaukee, plays a little bit in AAA, gets called up last week or 2 weeks ago now, and goes bonkers. He's been awesome for them since Rhys Hoskins went down. So there's something special brewing with this Milwaukee team. And so it's time to start acting like it.